Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. I gotta hurry before my phone cuts off. So let me tell you what led me to this study. In April 8th of 2018, I had a dream and I heard the end has come for the sounding of the alarm clock. And then I saw a Coca-Cola bottle. And then in real life, I saw that same bottle on a poster that said it's the real thing. And then April 4th of this year, I was just thinking, how are we really going to know when it's time? Because a few times we've thought it was time. And I fell asleep and I heard moving down the alarm clock. And I didn't totally understand that. And then a few days ago, I was praying if the Lord would give me some sort of clue or something. And I fell asleep. And right before I woke up, I heard ring the bell. We're at the end of the fourth watch. So I started studying about the four watches of the night in the Bible. And the first time it's mentioned is in Matthew 14:25. And it says, in the fourth watch, the disciples were on the boat and the storm was really bad. And they were in despair and wondering if they were going to get rescued. Things were really bad. And then Jesus came walking on the water. And so the watches, there are four of them. They're broken into 3-hour sections. And it starts at the first hour of the night. And so I thought, if hours are years, I need to go back 12 years and see if some sort of alarm went off. And so September 29th of 2008, we had a global stock market crash and it shook the whole world. And the Dow dropped 777 points. And that was the biggest drop in Dow history up until that point. And I was like, well, is there some sort of sign that this started the watch? And it happened on the Feast of Trumpets. So most of us didn't even know about the feast back then. But that led to famines in a lot of other countries and skyrocketing food prices. And all of these things that's happened in this 12-year period is from all the books of the Bible that talk about end times prophecies, and especially Matthew 24, where Jesus was giving us the signs to look for. And what sets this time apart from any other time in history is two big things. Israel had to be a nation again, brought back from extinction, and that happened in 1948, and that fulfills those prophecies from the Bible that talk about Israel not existing and then being brought back, and which has never happened to another nation before. That's been wiped out. It never came back. So that one, and then the technology that we have right now from Revelation, where it talks about people receive some sort of mark that makes them where they can't be saved. You know, we had to have the technology for that, and we've never had that before in all of history. So, because people like to say that we've always had disasters, but this time is different. So, 2009, the swine flu broke out, and that's from Matthew 24 about pestilences. In 2010, the sun intensified. That's from Revelation, where it says the sun will burn people to death. The BP oil spill, the water turned red and the fish died. That's a precursor to Revelation. the water turns red. Hosea 4, the fish and the birds die. And I started studying Bible prophecy in 2003, and we did not see anything. We never had seen anything like this. We had to imagine how these things would happen. And so we heard of our first sinkhole in 2010, and that is Isaiah 24. 2011 started the second watch. The birds fell from the sky on the first day. And then March 11, we had the Japan earthquake, a 0.9, and tsunami. And then the Arab Spring. It might have happened before the earthquake, but the Arab Spring is leading to the destruction of Damascus because Syria has been demolished since the Arab Spring, and it's one of the oldest cities, and it's never been destroyed before. So that put Damascus in the news. That's from Isaiah 17. And then 2012, we had the Trayvon Martin shooting, and riots broke out, and that's people hating one another and being offended, and the end time prophecies about the people, how they're going to be acting, and Obama supports gay marriage. I used to think, why are people going to be hating Christians? You know, it used to be considered a good thing to be a Christian, but the gay agenda is coming into play to make people hate Christians. God just wants what's best for everybody, and that lifestyle has bad consequences for the people that practice it. And then 2013, we had the historic Iran nuclear deal, and the Lord showed me this deal before it ever came into existence, and that it would lead to World War III. And so Iran got billions of dollars, and they've been building weapons like 24/7 ever since 2013. And Comet Ison, it split into a V, and the Lord showed me that was for vengeance. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And he's going to take vengeance on his enemies, and that's coming. Then the third watch started 2014 with the rise of ISIS, and we saw Christians being beheaded. And I used to think, why? When I would read the prophecies in Revelation, I was like, why are people going to be beheading people in this day and time? That is very barbaric. But here we are. And then the largest sunspot in 25 years. The Lord had me watching this 2 weeks before it ever happened. So I was watching the sun, and the sunspot appeared, and it ended up looking like a skull. And that was in October. And then we had the blood moons on Passover and Tabernacles. And then, meanwhile, thousands of people are having rapture dreams and end time dreams. And the Lord told me in 2015, that's when he started showing me that the rapture was going to happen soon. And 2015, we had the church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. And church and school shootings and mass shootings started increasing. And the White House was lit in the color of a rainbow, and same-sex marriage was legal in all states. The blood moons on Passover and Tabernacles, and a solar eclipse on Nisan 1. And during Tabernacles of that year, Russia flies into Syria for the first time. That is Ezekiel 38, end-time prophecy about war. the nations started to line up for that prophecy. Russia, then China and Iran, they all got involved in Syria. And then there was an asteroid shaped like a skull, and it flew past on Halloween of 2015. That was a sign that death is going to be coming from an asteroid. This one was a sign that death will be coming from the sun, like Revelation says. Y'all should Google this asteroid. It was called the Great Pumpkin. 2016, Hurricane Matthew was shaped like a skull in October. So all these skull signs in the sky happened in October. And then the next year we had death by hurricanes. So 2017 started the last watch, the fourth one, and which is the one we're in. The last Trump was inaugurated 2017. That we had the total solar eclipse, the Revelation 12 sign, and a devastating hurricane season. And this year, a lot of people woke up and it got their attention because of everything seemed to change after the eclipse. And then 2018, Billy Graham dies, and the gospel has now been preached all over the earth. That's a sign, regardless of how you feel about Billy Graham. He was a sign that the gospel's been preached all over the earth. I mean, a lot of things had to happen for that to be possible over the years. Like the Berlin Wall had to come down, and he went into communist China. You know, he did a lot of things. So Jesus said, when the gospel's been preached all over the earth, then the end will come. And that happened in the last watch. And Israel turned 70. And 2019, there was no government in Israel. And then the Notre Dame fires, Hong Kong riots. Meanwhile, all of these things are increasing. People are just getting meaner and meaner, blasphemers, haters of God. 20 years ago, if they didn't believe, they still had some respect, you know. Now it's horrible. Let's see, 2020. Well, you guys have seen what's happened. It started off with World War III almost started. Then January 28th, the deal of the century, which we've been waiting for this peace deal for a long time. And it finally happened. And like an hour and a half after this, there was a 7.7 earthquake, and it shook Trump's house in Mar-a-Lago. So obviously the Lord does not like this deal. It's going to lead to Jerusalem being divided, and it's linked to the other deal that we saw September 15th, because the guy said that the foundation for that deal is a two-state solution. So then the lockdowns, contact tracing, riots, and Amazon released their Palm scanner for quick and easy payments. And the beast system is clearly unfolding. 2020, we can clearly see. And so the Lord said, ring the bell. We're at the end of the fourth watch. And churches used to ring the bell for weddings or emergencies or to tell the time. So if you don't believe you're supposed to be watching, Jesus said in Mark 13, I say to all, watch. He said in Thessalonians, Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Don't get emotionally involved. Sober is clear-minded. Revelation 3, it says, remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. If you're not watching, you're not going to know what time it is. And then Luke, he says, and if he shall come in the second watch or the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants that are watching. And Luke, he said to watch and pray always, that you be accounted worthy to escape all of these things that are coming on the earth. And all of these things that are coming on the earth, and I know this isn't all of them, but it's things that got our attention for sure. And so people think that they don't have to watch. I've heard comments, just live your life and don't worry about it. Jesus will come when he comes. That's not what Jesus said. He says to everybody, watch. And blessed are those servants that are watching when he comes. So I love you guys, and I hope this is encouraging to you guys, and I'll see you soon.